guys, welcome to Learn Free Music Theory, lesson number 47. Alright, so in this video, we're going to be talking about structure in music. So, let's just get right into it. So, what is structure in music? Well, that's a good question. What basically structure in music does is it's sort of like the steel beams that hold up a skyscraper. You don't see them directly, but they affect basically the shape and the construction of the building, right? If you have four beams going up in like a kind of like a cube pattern, right? Most likely you're gonna have a cube-shaped building. But if you have, some crazy architecture where it's like spiraling and doing other stuff, you're gonna have a building that reflects the structure of the building underneath. It's sort of like the framing of the building, right? Okay, so what structure does in music, we have different forms of structure and they actually determine how the piece is going to play out. Just like, you can have, a great example is in movies, right? We have comedy movies and we have dramas and we have like horror movies and we have all different types of movies, right? And those tend to follow sometimes similar structures to them, right? Just think about it for a bit and you'll start to, I think, see the similarities. But anyway, so structure or form in music, it's kind of interchangeable. It's going to structure and basically give you an outline for how the piece should actually go. So there's going to be two that I'm going to show you in this video, but there is actually more to it. And even the one that I'm going to show you now, there's more to that one as well. But because this is still rudiments, I don't want to get too crazy in depth in this video here because it could go on for a while. And this isn't really going to be a test in the exam either. This is again another tidbit showing you more and giving you something to take away from level 3 that's like, oh, okay, so there's more to this. Alright? So I'm going to show you the first form right now. Okay. So, remember a few videos back when I was doing our little imperfect to perfect cadence where we had the 4 bars of melody and then we had 4 other bars, right? Well, that was actually an introduction to this. So, without telling you what it was, I was actually showing you binary form, okay? Now, specifically, this is a certain type of binary, but I'm not going to get into the details of that. Just because then there'll be more questions and then it's more time, and then the video will drag on and get too complicated at this point right now of how far I want to go. So we'll just leave it at that. So binary form, generally, I'm going to not try to teach you any concepts that we're going to have to unlearn later, so I'm just showing you what is actually part of binary form here. Okay, so binary form consists of 2 parts. Now, just like in computers, binary code is 00110, 00111, 00110, 0100110. Yeah, okay, I'm done. Because I don't know what I'm saying in binary. I don't speak binary very well. Wouldn't it be cool if you went into the store or something and then, I don't know, you just try talking to store clerks in binary code, like you actually learn binary code and then you talk to them in binary and see their reaction? I don't know. I just thought that'd be kind of funny. You go up to the cashier, you're like 01, 010, 001, 11. Anyway. Okay, so keeping going forward. So A and B, so usually each phrase or whatever, the A section is usually going to be 4 bars or 8 bars, generally. It can be more, can be less, because, there is, creativity in music. But this is the general rule. So usually the classic one you're going to do is 4 bars, okay? So you'll do 4 bars of A, and you'll do 4 bars of B. And you've probably heard this all the time, like when you listen to a song on the radio or anywhere and you hear one part and it's like do 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 do, and then you have a slow part in the middle or near the end it's like do 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 do, and it changes completely, right? It sounds like it sort of ties into the song, but it's a different setting. That's moving to a different section, so it's going from the A section to the B section, okay? And there's more sections later on when you get more advanced. There's A, B, C. You can have C2 and bridges and all these different things that are going on, but this is very basic to start with. So binary form A and B. So the rules that govern binary form is that A is dependent on B. A by itself doesn't sound like an ending, okay? So you can write out your melody in A, and then you can write something different in B, so it's sort of like a question and answer, and then the B section ends on the tonic, and that finishes off the piece. So B is the finisher, and A is the kind of instigator, okay? So A starts it off, and then when you get to the end of A, it ends on like an imperfect cadence or something that pushes it forward a bit more. And then the B section comes in, it goes for another 4 bars, and then it ends on the tonic, and then you feel resolution, and you're like, it's done. Okay? So because of this rule, you know how I said you can tell the key of a piece by just looking at the last note? Well, most form in music, the rule would be end on the tonic, because the tonic is the key of rest. Okay? Now, later composers and other different eras of music started to be like, I want to get away from those rules and not end on the tonic. So you started ending on weirder chords in like 20th century music and even into impressionistic and music. But that's kind of another topic. So getting back here, the basic thing that I want you to take is that there's an A section, a B section. They're going to sound distinct in some way. They could actually be similar, but they're going to be different cadence endings. But generally what you're going to do is write in 2 different kind of styles, but still have something that ties it together. And then you're going to end with a perfect cadence imperfect in A, and then close with a tonic in B. Okay? So that's binary form. So it's just A, B, done. Alright, so now let's move along to the next and the only other one that I'm going to show right now. Okay, so the next form or style that we've got here is called ternary form. Okay, now again, we're only using A and B, but we're using them in a different way. Okay, so in a ternary form piece, A is actually the ending, but you also need to get to B, so you can't just go like, hey, I'm just going to play A and I'll just stop there, and then there's a B section that you never play. That would be kind of wasteful. So ternary form is like, you start going through A, and you'll play, 4 or 8 bars, or however long it's going to be. Sometimes it's even 16 bars, right? Could be different numbers, okay? When it ends, it's usually going to end in a way that sounds like it's finished, but then it's going to keep going, and that's when it goes into the B section. So, a lot of music, it's going to show like maybe a double bar line with a repeat sign or some sort of thing. And also a dead giveaway is that you're going to see a little finne or fine above that part, but it's going to keep going. And you're like, what the heck? And then you go to the end of that piece and it's like DCL finne, which means go back to the beginning and then end at the finne. Or just stop there, right? So if you see that, that's pretty much a dead giveaway that this piece is in ternary form. Okay? So the structure, the way that it's laid out is you start on A, you have a perfect cadence on A, okay? It has no alterations when you go back to A. It's the exact same thing. It's a mirror image of the same. It's like a copy or a clone of it, okay? So you play A, then you go into the B section, and usually it's, quite creative in the B section. You can go to like minor keys, you can do lots of fun things and, really go around and play a lot and just be like, yay, I'm having fun composing. So anyway, once you have fun with the B section, usually you're going to end in some sort of like an imperfect cadence or a deceptive cadence or other things like that. Just, to push the piece forward. Don't give it a restful ending. And then that tension is going to bring you back to the A section again. And so you start from the beginning of the piece again, and then you finish where the A section finished before. So sometimes it's actually written out fully and you just keep going, playing through, or sometimes it has the DCL finne. And so when you see the DCL finne, then you know, okay, this is pretty much, it's going to be a ternary piece, okay, ternary form structure. Whereas if it's just written out, then you gotta kind of look and you're like, okay, and you're comparing stuff and moving it around, and so, yeah. Anyway, so that's ternary form. So it can be, 4 bars, 8 bars, 16. Generally we use 4, but it doesn't have to be. I've seen where it's not 4 bars, 2 bars, 3 bars. Albeit it's a lot less common. 4 bars is definitely the standard to go with, and so is 8 bars as well. And so, you know, when you hear a huge big piece, like, you know, a 20-minute long classical piece, it's still using structure, still using form. It's just like they've expanded the scope of it to just a huge scale. Instead of like a tiny little 1-minute piece, now they're just expanding it to this huge, big scope. Okay? Alright, so that's ternary form. Now we're going to get on to the homework. Homework. No. Okay guys, so for your homework in this lesson, I'd like you to go through and I want you to compose 3 pieces for each form. So you're going to start with like a 4 bar, you could either do a 4 bar or an 8 bar for part A, and then the B section, you're going to do either the same. So 4 parts, you know, 4 bars or 6 bar, or 4 bars or 8 bars or whatever. And make sure that you follow the rules where, you know, if you're doing binary, you know, it's imperfect, perfect cadence, okay? Cadences are like the punctuation that end off things, okay? So they're like the closing moments of that section. Now, if you're doing the ternary style, you can either do the DC alphanet or you can do and if you do the DC alphanet, make sure that you write DC alphanet, DC, and put that at the back. Or yeah, you'll put DC alphanet and you'll put that at the end of the B, and then now go back and then look and then put phanet, or F-I-N-E, right, fine, over top of the last bar in the A section, because that's showing where the ending is, and kind of have like a little thicker bar line or something to show that one part, okay? Alright, and make sure you do all your rests right, and you know, every other general rule, like your key signature, time signature, all that stuff has to be in its place. Okay, so compose 3 of each, and you know, have fun with them. And there you go, there's some interesting topic on structure in music. So there is much more to this topic, by the way. You know, there is, we get other forms like rondo form, sonata form, and I guess I'm not going to list them all. But there are a lot more, and so this is just the tip of the iceberg, if I can use that cliche. Alright, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I hope you found it helpful, and thanks for watching, and I hope you guys are doing really well. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.